Welcome again, my lovely former students in our biology subject, and we are proceeding with our biology topic series. And in our today's session, we learn our lovely topic known as cell structure and organization. This topic comprises several subtopics, which are four. The first subtopic is cell, the second one is the type of cell, third one is animal and plant cell, and the last one is cell differentiation. We'll pass through these subtopics so as to be familiar with this topic known as cell structure and organization. Welcome. By starting with the cell, here we look on how the cell was being investigated, how cell was being discovered. Now, by the year 1665, the Robert Hooke, an English scientist, designed a microscope as it used to examine the cork from the back of trees. So I've already learned on the concept of microscope. Microscope is a scientific instrument which a biologist uses to magnify small specimens which cannot be observed by using our naked eye. So the Robert Hooke also used the microscope to examine the back of the tree. Tree is a living thing, so it contains a cell, and all living things is made up of cell. So Robert Hooke, by the use of the microscope, examined on the back of the tree, or the cork from the back of tree, where he identified something is box-like. He notes that the cork was made up of many box-like units which were packed together to form a structure like honeycomb, and he called this structure or this unit a cell. So through his investigation, Hooke came up with the observation that the back of tree was made up of many box-like units which were very placed together like honeycomb, and this unit he termed them as a cell. So now let us see what is a cell. So that is how cell was discovered according to the Robert Hooke. Now, from his conclusion, Robert concluded that all living things are made up of cell, and the life process takes place inside the cell. So no cell, no life. Any living things must consist of cell. So anything which does not possess a cell meaning that is a non-living thing. All living things are made up of cell. Now, so what is a cell? Cell are the basic functional unit of life. Kwa hiyo seli ndio kizio kikubwa cha maisha. Kwa ili maisha yawepo au chochote kiwe na uhai lazima kiwe na seli. Now, the observation made by the Robert Hooke, other scientists use his observation and his finding kuweza kudevelop the cell component or component of the cell theory. Also, the theory this means is a widely accepted explanation of the relationship between the cell and living things. Kwa hiyo hapa theory yenyewe imeweza kuexplain the relationship iliyopo kati ya viumbe hai na seli. Kwa nini tunasema kwamba cell is a basic functional unit of the life? Kuna uhusiano gani iliyopo kati ya viumbe hai na seli? So this is all about the cell theory. And now let us see the relationship existing between the cell as well as the living things, and this was being developed through the development of the cell theory. The first cell theory states that all things are composed of cell. Viumbe hai wana cell, so no life, no cell. And that's why you get the organisms which are made up of one cell are known as unicellular, and those which are made of millions of cells are known as multicellular. Example, human beings, cow, fish, and others. And the cell are the basic unit of structure and function of living things. Also, the other cell theory, all cells are produced from other cells, meaning that cells are produced from pre-existing cell. This is according to the law of biogenesis. Nasema kwamba seli imetengenezwa kutoka kwenye seli nyingine. Lakini this is one of the weakness. Where does that hiyo first cell ilitokea wapi? It is one of the weakness scientists still investigating. And all life process take inside the cell. Why all life processes like metabolism, catabolism take place within the cell. Cells are physically similar in chemical composition. Cell ya binadamu na cell ya chimpanzee, they do function similarly, meaning that for those they are related genealogically or phylogenetically. Also, cell contain inherited information which control the hereditary activity. Cell vile vile imecontain vinasaba ambavyo zinatumika katika kurithishwa. Ndio maana unakuta baba anafanana na mtoto au mjukuu anafanana na babu. It is all about the cell which contain the hereditary material which can be transmitted from one generation to the next. You have to note that cell theory applies to all living things no matter how small or big. This cell theory imeapply kwa viumbe hai wote. Haiangalii either ni mdogo au mkubwa. Haiangalii complexity au unicellular or multicellular. It applies for all living things, all living organisms. Since all cells are common to all living things, they can provide information about their life. Scientists can study cells to learn about the nutrition, growth, reproduction, and so forth. So, through the study of cell, scientists wanaweza wakajua namna gani reproduction take place, kwa mfano katika meiosis and katika growth, mitosis, katika nutrition, how these organisms they do feed. Respiration, how the respiration process do take place either in aerobically or anaerobically. It is all about the knowledge of the cell. Now let us look on our second subtopic, which is the types of cell. My lovely Form 1 students, based on the nuclear organization, there are main two basic types of cell, prokaryotic cell as well as eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell, this was cell pro means pre. This was cell which was firstly discovered. And this eukaryotic cell which was discovered after the discovery of the prokaryotic cell. So the prokaryotic cell, these are the cells which are mostly found for those unicellular organisms. So now let's look on this cell. What is prokaryotic cell? So prokaryotic cell is a type of cell in which nuclear material known as chromosome, DNA are not bound within the nuclear membrane. So hapa ni cell ambayo inadha tunasema the one which lack true nuclear membrane, ambapo nuclear chromosome and DNA azipo within the nuclear au azina nuclear membrane ambazo zimezihold together. Also, the cell are found in organism called prokaryote. Hizi hapa si inapatikana kwa organism which are called prokaryote. Prokaryote, this organism which lack true nuclear. So, prokaryote are single-celled organism such as bacteria and blue-green bacteria. Example, tunaweza kusema unicellular. So, these organisms which are made up of single cell. Example, bacteria and viruses. And these are example of the prokaryotic. This is a bacteria. This is a structure of bacteria. Here we see it has a slime capsule, it has a circular DNA, it has a cell wall, it has a cell membrane ambayo ndio hapa ndani, cell wall ni hapa ya nje, cover ya nje, hii hapa ni blue, hapa ni cell wall. Also within this, njano hapa ni cytoplasm, pink ni circular DNA, and the outer part hapa ni slime capsule, hii hapa kwa ajili ya kuweza maintain the shape. It contains the protein coat ambayo kwa ajili ya maintenance of the shape. And this one, flagella, it is used as the main of movements. Now let us see the characteristics of prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell wana tabia gani au wana sifa gani? The first one, they do not have true nucleus as they lack membrane bound nucleus. So wana nuclear lakini nuclear yao is not true because wana lack membrane bound nuclear. The other one, they do not have membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, meaning that the organelles they are just scattered. Hawana ile membrane ambayo imekuwa imebeba all the organelles together. Ndio tukavyoona kwa akina eukaryote. They reproduce by binary fission or by conjugation. Binary fission meaning that organism, kwa mfano earthworm, minyoo, ana tabia ya ku reproduce by au kuzaliana by binary fission, meaning that it divide into two equal parts, ambao each equal part, two equal half, it grow into a matured organism. By conjugation, take an example, amira, wana grow yani kwa kuumuka. Yes, like kama amira. Amira yeast is an example of the prokaryotes. Also, mostly they are smaller in size than eukaryotic cell. Ni wadogo sana kulinganisha na eukaryotic cell. Some prokaryotes have whip-like structure called flagella for locomotion or hair-like structure called pili for attachment. Vile vile prokaryote wana whip-like structure, kwa mfano flagella ambayo inasaidia katika movement au locomotion, na vile vile wengine wanakuwa hair-like structure kwa ajili ya pili, kwa ajili ya kuweza kuattach wanapokuwa wana feed either to their host. Vile vile they have circular DNA, wanakuwa wana circular DNA yao ni round. Also they can be spherical, spiral, coma, rod and corkscrew shaped as shown below. Vile vile hapa prokaryote wana shape mbalimbali. Wanaweza kaa na coma shaped, wanaweza kaa na spiral shaped, wanakaa na bacillus or rod shaped, au kaa na corkscrew shaped as shown here. This is an example of the spiral shaped bacteria, and this one is an example of the spherical bacteria. This one is bacillus or rod shaped as you see, and this one is coma shaped bacteria. Example tunaangalia kina vibrios ambao napelekea cholera, and this one is an example of corkscrew shaped bacteria. So they have almost 5 common shape of the prokaryotes of the bacteria. Now we consider on the one shape after another. Now eukaryotic cell, the type of cell where organisms are enclosed in a membrane. So hizi hapa cell za eukaryotes zenyewe zinakuwa na nucleus ambazo zimebe enclosed within the nuclear membrane. These cells are found in organism called eukaryotes. So organism which possess the eukaryotic cell with membrane bound nucleus tunaita ni eukaryotes. And eukaryotic cell can be found in unicellular organism, kwa mfano akina amoeba, akina euglena, vile vile katika multicellular organisms such as plants and animal. Kwa eukaryotic cells zinapatikana kwa both organism ambao ni unicellular na multicellular. Example this multicellular organism tuna sisi binadamu, kuna plants. Also for this unicellular akina amoeba na euglena ambao ni green organism which are able to manufacture their own food have this eukaryotic cell. Euglena is one of the plant-like organism ambayo yenyewe anakuwa ana both animal and plant characteristics. So we will study it on details. Now let us consider the characteristics of eukaryotic cells. They have membrane bound nuclei. Wenyewe wanakuwa wana membrane ambayo imekuwa imefunika ile nucleus, so their nucleus is not naked. For that case, meaning that they have true nuclei. Also, they are generally larger and more complex than prokaryotes. Wenyewe wana size kubwa na ni more complicated. As said, they are made up of multicellular, meaning they have more cell. They have linear DNA material instead of prokaryotes ambao wenyewe kwa na circular DNA, hapa nakuwa na linear DNA material. Also they are generally larger and more complex than prokaryotic cell. Wenyewe ni wakubwa and more complex than prokaryotic cell. And this is an structure of the euglena, example of the unicellular organism ambayo ni eukaryotes. These are euglena. Euglena ana both plant and mammal characteristics. Here it is a flagella which is used for movement. This is a gullet. Gullet inatumia kwa ajili ya ingestion, taking of the food. Air spot kwa ajili ya sensitivity. Also it has a nuclear, linear nucleus. It has a chloroplast for photosynthesis. Also it has contractile vacuole kwa ajili ya mambo ya osmoregulation. Also it has a pellicle ambayo kazi yake ni kuweza maintain the shape. Now, my lovely Form 1 students, here there is a task for you. You have to take a note on it before I sum up my session, which you have already looked on the concept of the cell and types of the cell. Now you have to take a task so as to test your understanding. The question states that explain 5 components of the cell theory deduced from Hooke's observation. Explain 5 components of cell theory deduced from Hooke's observation. Second one, describe how prokaryotic cells differ from eukaryotic cells. Up to now, my lovely students, that's marked the end of our today's session. Have a nice moment.